Hey everyone, welcome to Eagles in the Spotlight. I'm Coach L.A. Mumar and I will be your host for this episode. We are so happy that you joined us. We created this channel so that you guys could be updated with what's happening with Ateneo Sports. I'm sure you missed them because of the pandemic. We really want to see them in action. And this is our little way of kind of updating you or showing you what's happening with online training, maybe interview some of your favorite Ateneo athletes, Ateneo coaches, para hindi nyo naman sila masyado ma-miss. Today's episode is very, very special to me. I know I say that a lot, but the truth is, this is the most special because it is the Ateneo women's basketball team. Yay! Ateneo women's basketball team. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different things regarding what's happening in the team and also some of their perspectives regarding what is happening in women sports in general. So wag na po natin patagalin to. Let's all welcome my captain, Selena De Dios, Angel Gino, and Miss LJ Miranda.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, teammate.
This looks like a team meeting. Parang it's not like how are you girls? We have to pretend at the very least that we don't see each other, diba? So parang, hey guys, how are you? How are you girls?
Missed you guys. Oh my God.
I wanted to ask you the first question. How great is your coach? How awesome is he? Good looking, smart. What can you say about your coach? Please watch out.
I think, our coach, I don't know if you guys know him. His name is Coach L.A. Mumar. I don't know if you're familiar. He's been, all right.
I know, I'm not change topic. But anyway, how are things going? Of course, I'm asking this because I'm the host here, okay? Not because I'm your coach, okay? So how are things going with the pandemic? Everything stopped, and how are you guys coping?
It's going as best as it can be given the situation. In terms of with what's happening now, it's just every day you're just grateful that you're healthy, that your family's healthy, that you're privileged and blessed enough to be in a situation where you can continue school, you can continue training, you're not, sick. And so in that sense, I have no complaints with what's been going on. Just the usual, trying to finish off school, trying to finish off my graduating year as strong as possible. And then just keeping up with, the girls, watching over them, even though remotely, because I know they get into a lot of trouble on their own. So just making sure, that they're that they're okay.
Parang si LJ umiiling ka. Parang you don't
LJ
agree.
especially.
Yeah, especially LJ. Alam mo, ito nakakatawa dito, guys, those who are watching. So Sel is somewhere here in Metro Manila. LJ is actually in the province. LJ, nasaan ka ngayon?
Isabela po. Region 2.
And Angel, as we are shooting this right now, is in Indiana. All right? So, diba? So, LJ, tumutungo ka. Anong masasabi mo?
Well, ayun nga, Coach. Like Selena said, siguro yung like, right now, meron tayong broadcasting. I mean, ito palang privilege na agad to for us. Like, answering your questions, being able to do this and that. As compared to other people na parang, yun nga, iniintindi nila how to survive, like, yung health nila. Pero tayo, like, nasa comfort tayo ng mga bahay natin. Just, worried about academics and trainings. So, yun, Coach. So, we have no excuses. So, just got, parang kailangan mo lang i-work out yung mga meron ka right now.
Yeah, nice. Great. Angel, ikaw, nabakunahan ka na ba?
I got my first dose. I'm about to get my second one in like 2 weeks.
Wow, sana all, no? Sana all for everybody. But anyway, wala na kami magagawa. We're here, you're there. We're gonna make the best of the situation. But how are things going? How are you guys? How are you personally coping?
I think, like what LJ and Sel said, it's just to be thankful for what we have right now and being able to train every day still and being together even remotely as a team. But also, like on the contrary, it is hard waking up every day, like having that repetitive like schedule and like not being able to physically see everyone and physically like able to like hang out and bond. But I guess that's part of quarantine blues and all that. But yeah, just being thankful is what's getting me through everything, honestly. Just for me, I take it as my positive outcome is like being with my family because I rarely get to be with them anyways when
Yeah.
I'm back in the Philippines. So like spending time with them, I take that to heart. So that's how everything's going so far.
How did you get into basketball? Because at least in the Philippines, diba, it's more common to play volleyball than basketball. Tama ba? You guys agree, right? So, what are your thoughts about that? Number one. And number two, how did you get in the sport?
For me, I think pretty similar to what everyone will say is that they started it when they were young, probably like a family member. Same thing for me. Ever since I was young, my parents were super into basketball, specifically like Ateneo basketball. Because they used to study in Ateneo, so we grew up watching the games. I think when it was hosted sa Blue Eagle Gym, we were there. Like I have a picture.
Yeah.
And one like moment that stood out to me, I think we used to play kasi in the high school field ng Ateneo before when I think I was like what 6 or 7 years old, and there was this time na I passed by the gym, uh, I passed by More Lorenzo gym, and I heard that they were practicing inside, and it was the men's team, and I kind of told myself like I'm gonna play for Ateneo. At that
Wow.
moment, I didn't even know that there was a women's team. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna play for the men's team if I have to. And I was like 6 or 7, right? But again, I was just lucky na my parents kind of introduced me to the sport. And then growing up, I also went to a Montessori, so it was co-ed. And I guess I got exposed to the boys playing, basketball, and I was just drawn to it. So yeah, it's for me. It's always been I've been fortunate enough to be in that environment where basketball was my first option. It was never volleyball was never in the picture. Any other sport, it was really basketball.
No, yan si Selena is she has the parang celebrity looks, but she para alam nyo lang ang tikas mag-screen yan, okay? Sa mga pinakamalakas naming player yan. Si Miss Selena De Dios. Okay. LJ, ikaw naman, daddy mo ba? Friends? Who got you into the game?
Actually, coach, yung dad ko naglalaro din siya. And syempre, yung brothers ko, I mean, mag-isa akong babae sa household namin. Aside from my mom, obviously. So, ayun, yung influence na, syempre, iba din. Pero unlike Selena, like, first option niya basketball. Mine, volleyball talaga. Not because I
Okay.
wanted to play volleyball, but because that's the only, like, sport na available for women. Like, sa school ko, since Catholic school. And yung women's basketball, wala talaga siya, ever. Like, it started lang when I was third year na high school. So, syempre, coach, like, although hindi sikat yung basketball for women's category, like, yung competition kasi since super rare nga, easy lang din makapasok. So, yes, yun yung advantage naman, coach. Pero syempre, I mean, Ateneo pa rin naman to, so mataas din standard. So, I had to train a lot din for me to be here.
Tama. So at least on that level, mahirap bumuo ng team siguro, no? In the grade school level or high school level, not a lot of people or females play. Ikaw, Angel.
For me, coach, it's actually a funny story because I didn't start off with sports. Well, I would consider it a sport, but I was on the cheering side because I was
Wow!
the cheerleader.
Okay.
You know, on top of the
Sample.
Kaya pala, I remember you told me, Coach, it's okay if you don't let me play, I can cheer off the bench. Tama? So that's...
Coach, sample nga. Sample ng Ateneo
Yeah.
cheer.
Pwede ba
Ay,
mag-sample?
Go Ateneo!
Okay. Oh, sige. So you started off with cheering. Okay.
Yeah, I started off with cheering, and then that didn't last long, I guess. And then I went to swimming, but then I realized I'm not that good at swimming either. And then one day, me and my dad were at a park, and he brought a basketball, and just shot it, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I see potential." And then
Nice.
so we started working at it every day, and I just fell in love with it until I'm here in Ateneo. And
Nice.
I guess that the whole like women's playing basketball and like that not being a women's sport really stuck with me because it's like something that's always been like a goal of mine to prove people wrong. and
Yeah.
that's really one of the big reasons why I chose basketball, is because people don't see women players be basketball players, right? They're usually volleyball, cheerleading, all those feminine sports. So that's nice about basketball and being a women's basketball athlete. So
I have a follow-up question with this. No, please tell me your honest thoughts. Because there are a couple. I believe there are a lot more young people who are seeing you guys play, and not just us, but even LaSalle, UP, UST, all of these schools, and they're seeing that, and then there's a later we'll talk about the pro league of the women's and how that can help. But LJ, sinabi mo kanina, there's not a lot of people who play ball. How does that how does that feel in the sense that it was just passion for the sport? Because you know let's be honest, when the volleyball team plays, at least the women's, no, there are more people who watch. You're actually more famous in a way. But is that a consideration, or it was really just something that you really enjoyed the sport? I don't care if nobody watches, or is that something that a challenge that I want to grow the sport here in the Philippines? What is that? What's going through your minds as you pick this sport to play in?
Coach, sa iba kasi 'no, like ako personally kasi love for the game talaga ako, eh. Saka challenge din sa'kin kasi I mean, nasa time tayo ngayon na parang hindi naman like before na as in totally wala yung basketball for the women's category. At least now we have na. Like even the pro league meron na din. Pero
Yeah.
ayun nga, like other girls kasi, like yung mga nanonood din sa'min, parang siyempre goal din nila mag-pro. Goal nila kumita din. Like aside from scholarships like for college players, yung iba gusto rin nila i-take it to the next level. Like for example, PBA, di ba? They have like may sweldo sila monthly, sponsors. Pero ayun nga, like depende kasi sa why nung player, coach. Like do you do it for like fun? Do you do it for other people? Mahirap kasi yung kino-compare mo yung yun nga, like how women's category plays as compared to the men's. Siyempre iba din yun. Like ayun coach, akin kasi depende talaga eh. Like hindi
So
mo
why?
pwedeng sabihin, yes coach. Like depende if gusto mo talaga like nabuboost yung passion mo if marami nanonood sa'yo or marami nag-cheer. Yun yung thoughts ko. So, depende talaga sa'yo kung ano yung nagmamotivate sa'yo gawin yung isang bagay.
Yeah, super agree with LJ. It's hard to compare kasi na it really depends on the player. But for me nga, I guess my exposure to the sport was a little different. I never had that basketball was only for girls. Sorry, basketball was only for boys, volleyball was only for girls because nga I went to a co-ed school and at that point it didn't really matter. Just you were let out at recess and bahala na kayo.
Yeah.
Like fend for yourself, play whatever you want to play. So I never really had a point of comparison as to who was being supported more, ganun. But when I entered college and then I noticed like our bleachers were essentially empty during games. We had a really bad, well not naman bad, but an unideal game schedule in the morning when people weren't even awake yet. And then seeing like and then seeing like full crowds sa volleyball, parang that was the
Or
only
sa men's
time that
basketball.
or men's basketball, that was the only time that I realized the disparity was huge. But like LJ said, you really have to question your why at the end of the day. And I don't think it's never going to be one sport versus another sport or one
Yeah.
gender versus another gender. It's really just like us as a group of athletes against um, a lack of opportunity or a lack of exposure to sport. Like very recently, and I don't know if Angel wants to talk about this. It was like March Madness, and I got super hyped. And like I usually never got hyped for March Madness, but to the
Yeah.
point where I was like messaging Angel, I was like, "These are my favorite players. Like I think they're so like amazing, blah blah blah." And I even went on to like looking at their gym facility tours, and
Yeah.
like D1 facilities in the states is so incredible, like state of the
Yeah.
art talaga. So again, like it's never us versus another gender or one sport versus another sport. I think really it's athletes versus wanting better treatment or
Yeah.
recognition of us as talents.
Nice. And Angel, siguro a different question for you, a harder one, no? No, but have you ever encountered that? Has anybody told you na parang, just stick to basketball, just stick to another sport, not basketball, or anything like that, or maybe you went to the park and they don't want to play with you because you're a girl, yung mga ganon. Has that ever happened to you, Angel, or ano?
Actually, fortunately enough, no, because like
Yeah,
Sel said, she's grew up with a co-ed school, so she never really felt that. I Same here in the States. I never really felt that. There our actual stands were like really packed in my high
yeah,
school games, even in middle school, like they were really packed for girls games because they're super supportive with sports, no matter what gender, no matter who's playing
yeah,
and and so our student section was cheering. Even the boys team would come and watch us. So it was really shocking to come to the Philippines and then like what Sel said, see like empty stands. Like the games weren't a time for people to be able to support us. We
yeah.
weren't getting that publicity or anything. So it was just that's when like you start to question like what's happening, what's going on, and then the recent again Sel brought up the recent issue with NCAA March Madness
Yeah.
that really took a toll on me because it's like I'm from here and that really kind of like sucks to see that because I never
Uh,
personally felt that, and just to see that happening is just really disheartening as a athlete,
oh.
especially as a woman.
If you're watching us here, basically what they're talking about is this gym that was prepared for the men's team was like huge, like a big ballroom type, and then we had this closet type, kawawa talaga, ano, yung sa women's, and they gave all kinds of excuses na walang space and kawawa talaga yung women's, and that if that has happening in the States, I'm actually happy, just to share. Of course, there are some challenges, but I'm happy that the UAP started promoting it more, and even showing on TV your Ateneo Lasal game, and hopefully online as well. So hopefully getting some traction. You've seen, I think Celino was saying it earlier, di ba? Yung parang dumadami na yung sa States or sa other countries, definitely in Europe. How do you see your role as a player here? Parang yung vision na, sige, yeah, we're talking about what's now. But yung vision towards the future, may pro league coming. I've seen more girls get into it, the sport. They're appreciating it more. So where do you think the future of women basketball lies, at least here in the Philippines?
I think for me, starting off is like using our platform because right now UF it was like the highest everyone's watching. Using our
Yeah,
platform as athletes to promote and raise awareness for like these sports such as women's basketball, and like show people that this is another sport. They're still athletes.
yeah.
Like come support. It's the same thing. We put in the same work, same like hard work every day, and yeah, it's worth the watch. At least give it a chance. So
Yeah.
yeah, using our platform.
Yeah, may napanood nga ako, Angel, yung the team started going around. It's one of the schools there in the States. Started promoting it, going, classroom for classroom. The ladies team started promoting it, and kumbaga feeling ko, again, this is a very biased comment, no, but we have a greater responsibility, not just to play, but to propagate the sport to the next generation. Parang, what do you guys think of that?
I don't think the road for women's basketball has been paved enough. And so
Yeah,
parang there's more responsibility on this generation of players to further, like you said, propagate the sport. But, I think my time as an athlete is like coming to an end. I'm getting older
yeah.
na, coach.
Wow, okay.
And-
Don't please when you say 21,
Lola.
22, and then you still stay old. It really hurts my feelings, eh. Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
But I think I've always been a believer that women shouldn't label themselves solely as an athlete because we have so much
Mm,
ground to make up. It's just showcasing like who we are as people and like the intangibles like leadership, discipline, uh, and all of those values that come with playing your sport, and then letting that shine through in other fields. And then if that, I guess that's the only way that we can kind of make up ground for any discrimination that we face, like take for example, like these two are my two teammates. Angel is just starting her women empowerment clothing line, and then LJ has done amazing like charity work in her province, like things like that, things that you don't necessarily see as related to basketball but still making waves because that's who we are as athletes and that's who we are as people. So it's not really about uh, just proving on the court, what we're made
Yeah.
of and what we're worth, but just showing us, like showing people na as individuals, like this is what we're capable of and we're like, worth supporting.
Nice. LJ, parang may
Um,
sasabihin ka.
Coach, going back to your question, syempre iba yung parang there's something to look forward to. Like yung mga pro leagues nga ganyan. Kasi sa time ko before, like sobrang discouraged ako kasi even college ball wala sa school ko. Like even high
Mm.
school. So, iba yung meron kang nakikita na goal na pwede mong, like syempre yung work ethic mo, super, hindi naman nagde-depend, pero affected nung fact na if may goal ba or wala. Like super relevant example, like right now, pandemic, hindi natin alam what the future holds, kung meron pa bang UAAP next year, kung meron pa bang basketball and stuff like that. Pero yung how we put in the work, sobrang nakaka-inspire ng ibang tao. Like, despite of the circumstances, yung work ethic natin, hindi naman natin binababa sa kung ano yung nangyayari right now. So yun nga, sabi ni
Nice.
Sel, we're more than athletes kasi.
Okay, change gears a little bit. So I really appreciate you guys working hard and really pushing in spite of the lockdown, the pandemic, with the season being canceled. Let's shift gears. You guys are not just athletes; you are students. And I noticed that you took from me, no, na you guys are all Dean's Listers, the three of you. I think we have 7 or 8 in our team. Para how do you guys balance that? And now, even with online, we had a lot of Dean's Listers. And kidding aside, of course, you did not get it from me. We all know that. Maybe Coach Bacon, you got it from Coach Bacon. But how do you guys balance that?
Coach, I
Ako,
think the
sige,
oh
go and just. Go na
sige,
rin.
sige.
Ako na.
sige. I think the biggest thing is time management. The extracurriculars, LJ can probably answer how she manages that part. But the time management is the biggest thing. Just being able to balance every single like aspect of your daily life is probably what's able to balance everything. So
Time management na sabi mo na. So, iba naman sa akin. Ako for me, importante talaga sa akin pahinga. So like, if hindi ako productive, I rest. Kasi sayang yung time. Diba? I mean,
Okay.
as much as we wanna work hard and we wanna be productive, hindi talaga effective kung pagod tayo, like mentally, emotionally, and stuff like that. So what I do is every day, kahit na isang goal lang, like from, kunwari, I have 100 goals for today. Kahit isa lang doon matapos ko, for me, that's enough. Like, at least meron ka natapos. And hindi mo napapansin, mag-a-add na siya. Like, tuloy-tuloy. Kasi small things count naman. So, wag mo lang pilitin. And yun nga, for me, bawas social media kasi super mahirap na iwasan i-compare yung achievements mo sa iba. Unknowingly na kino-compare mo yung best nila sa average ones mo lang. So, parang instead na nakaka-help sa'yo, nadidistract ka pa.
Nice. Sel?
My teammates are so wise, Coach. Even though they're younger than me, well, technically we were all rookies sa Baye. So that was like our inside joke. The three of us were like rookies at the same time. But
Hindi ko
yeah, even
sinadya
though
yun,
they're
We just, go.
but even though that they're younger, parang what they say is like they're very mature, and I'm really grateful that I get to learn from them kahit paano rin. That's why we have a lot of like we're able to converse and learn a lot from each other. But yeah, tama naman yung sinabi nila, Coach. Time management, LJ saying rest, which is, I think, more important now, more than ever with what's going on. But for me, it's really prioritizing what's important to you. I think there was a
Wow.
point where I, like LJ said, I got caught up in like comparing achievements or like comparing where I was supposed to be versus where others were. And it's not right then because my set of skills or like my situation being a student athlete is going to be different from just a regular college student or just someone who plays sports professionally. Like it really has to be constant effort to prioritize what's important to you, and parang don't be too pressured to take too many things upon
Yeah.
yourself. I think being a student athlete is enough pressure, is enough
Yeah.
of a task. It's like already a huge task. So yeah, just learning to do what you're doing well, putting your 100% effort into it and being realistic with what you can actually accomplish. So like not spreading yourself too thin.
So a lot of people were saying that you guys are well balanced. Sell, you write for the Guidon, right?
Yes,
Di ba?
coach.
You're a writer there. And then si LJ does mga charity work, di ba? And gusto ko lang sabihin na is this for run because you're running for mayor in the future? What's or is it really kusang loob talaga?
Actually, nag-start naman siya, coach, before the pandemic pa. Right now, hindi ko kino-consider tumakbo. So, I guess, personal agenda ko siya. Hindi siya for...
Masyado ka naman defensive, nagjo-joke lang ako. Okay, so, uh, but anyway, yan. Si Selena, Sel, ano daw, mag-ABS-CBN ka ba daw or something? Mag-artista ka ba?
Coach, I don't know what you're saying eh. I have no idea
Okay,
what you're
so,
talking about. Yeah, for
okay,
those of you who
fine.
don't know, can I spell the tea, coach? Our coach used to be a really, really good actor. As in, he used to be
Okay,
able to
we're gonna
cry
edit
on
that.
cue.
Okay.
Like, he
Wow,
used to be able to
okay.
cry on cue and give the most dramatic monologues. Coach, you
Sample.
should,
Wow.
sample,
Well,
coach.
Angel, ikaw naman, you kind of, somebody mentioned it. I think Sel mentioned you have this line,
Yep.
and it's not just to make money, but it's something about awareness about women empowerment, specifically in sports. Can you kind of describe what it is?
So basically, starting from the beginning, it started before the pandemic. It's been a year in the making, actually. So, and then the pandemic hit, we weren't able to be active with all the details that we needed to do. And finally, we got everything. We just released. The line is right now is called "Prove Them Wrong." That's our first drop. And
Okay.
basically, on the back of the shirts, it has all the hate comments against women athletes, not just in basketball, but in all
Yeah.
sports. And we're using our line to basically empower women athletes,
Galing.
show equality within sports. And we're actually getting a lot of our influencers are what we call allies to
Yeah.
spread the word, and it's been going great so far. So
Yeah.
hopefully everyone can
Great.
support that too. So
Yeah. So, etong thing. What is one thing that you really, really enjoy when you're playing basketball? Something specific. Talagang, what is it in basketball na talagang parang, that's why I play this game. Diba? Parang, kunyari si Selena, manakit pag nagbibigay ng screen. Something like that, no? Kasi si Sel, akala nila ganyan-ganyan yan, pero ang lakas magbigay ng screen. Something like that.
Mang-iwan, coach.
Mang-iwan. Parang
Rook,
double meaning. Mang-iwan ng ano.
Rook sa
Ha?
basketball daw.
Basketball
Mang-iwan,
nga.
blow by. Blow
Yes, coach.
by. Okay, okay.
Diba? Shows
Nalilito
your
ako sa
talent.
mang-iwan eh. Okay,
Fast.
okay. Parang naguguluhan ako. Ikaw, Angel.
Siguro just laughing and like having fun with the team. Like even during games, like we'll joke around even on the bench about like small
Yeah.
stuff, and those little things add up to something.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gave me an idea, so I don't really need to use you. At least you can be a cheerleader on the bench. So, LJ, pakinote lang, no? Sel, pagka sa game, at least hindi siya magre-reklamo, baka gumanon-ganon lang yan. Wow! Diba?
I'll be
So,
cheering, coach. Don't worry. I'll cheer.
okay. Alam ko naman, good attitude. Kidding lang yan. Ikaw, Sel, anything besides your athletic ability? Oo.
Yeah, aside from having the highest vertical jump on the team, from being the fastest on the team, no, but for those of you who've ever watched a practice or a game, I am like literally the opposite of those things. But I think that's what makes me love the game a lot because
Yeah.
you can use strategy, you can use your high basketball IQ to kind of overcome that. And I think that's what my favorite thing is about the sport. Not to say that other sports aren't tactical,
Yeah.
but I'd like to think that my basketball IQ is what has propelled me further. So I just like using my head and just like
Yeah.
I like using my head over my amazing athletic
ability.
abilities.
We all,
So
Sel, I always kid her, even during practice eh. Lalo na nung face-to-face pa. Pag magle-layup si Sel, ganyan. But it's all in fun. We try to make it fun. Siguro ito, a couple of things. It's just, what's your dream for women's sports? And what So that's one. And also, I think, Angel, medyo sasagutin ko na to for you. Yung parang your little contribution is probably your business. Tama ba? I mean, just to continuously propagate.
Yeah, for
Kasi
sure.
you could have done, different kinds of clothing line or a different business. But sige, go, shoot.
For me, my vision is just to be heard, not just like Sel said, not more than athletes. Like we are so much more than athletes, but being an athlete, like we can use that platform to be heard, and we can use other ways to show people that we're more than capable of doing what men can do.
LJ, ikaw, any vision or small contribution to propagate and really just enlarge basketball dito sa Pilipinas?
Kung siguro na foresee ko yung women's basketball as a sport na hindi na siya kailangan i-compare sa men's.
Yeah.
We're existing on our own. Like, literally, acknowledge dapat tayo, bare minimum. Like, we don't have to compare it to other sports, especially sa men's basketball. Kasi, I mean, doesn't mean magkaiba yung physique or like athletic abilities ng women sa men. Kailangan always kino-compare. Like, hindi naman kailangan, coach, na equal yung ibigay na support. But as long as equal yung opportunity, okay na sa akin. Like, feeling ko enough naman na siya. Like, sa nangyayari today, feeling ko sooner or later, mangyayari na din siya.
Pero ako, in fairness, LJ, this is my technically first year of coaching the women's. Parang take away Angel or pero less ang sakit ng ulo ko sa women's. Parang mas I'm kidding. Generally parang it's a different game. It's the same game but it's different. Sorry, does that make sense ba? Parang and it's beautiful both ways. That's how I see it. Coming from somebody who coached in the seniors and juniors of the men's and boys. Parang iba siya. Para siyang chocolate cake and strawberry. Hindi mo iba siya apples and oranges. Sel, ikaw?
I guess for me, my hope for women's sports in general is that people start giving it the recognition that it deserves, and with actual substance. It's not just about resharing a post or, for example, buying a T-shirt if there's no action behind it. Whether that means like actually watching a few highlights or maybe watching a few games, following female athletic personalities. There really has to be conscious action. You can't just say, oh yeah, I support women's sports and also just like have never watched a single game in your life because you don't see the value or reason in it. So I think I would just like to see more purposeful and meaningful allyship. And I think it's starting naman. I'd like to say that it's starting. Just more viewers across different female sports. So it's exciting, and I think it's only going to go up from here.
Yeah, I think it's really growing. I mean, I have to give a lot of props to my friend who's in New York, Erica D, pushing for the girls division, diba? Yung UAP nagka-girls division. Tapos, and I guess what we're trying to say, diba, Sel, is it's not just women's basketball. It's other sports na whether men or women na hindi masyado nakikita. Whether that's sometimes swimming or judo na hindi masyado napapanood, table tennis, and there are tremendous athletes there. Anyway, medyo on a lighter note, kasi konti na lang yung oras ko. No? On a lighter note, pagka kunyari nag face-to-face class, okay, face-to-face class, okay, outside of practice, alam ko na sisip-sip kayo, sasabihin nyo, we want to practice, cha-cha-cha. What is one thing that you will do right away? As in, what will you do? What do you miss doing? What will you do when we get to go face-to-face?
I think for me is post-practice Samgyup with the team. That's probably the best and what I'm looking forward to. And just being able to hang out with my teammates outside of basketball.
Na-miss ko yun. Alam mo, parang na-accelerate din yung pagkakilala ko sa inyo, just eating breakfast after practice. Kasi nga, maaga kami mag-ensayo. Yung mga kwentuhan, pag breakfast, tama, Angel, that's so good. LJ?
Coach, siguro since nasabi ni Angel, magta-travel na lang muna ako.
Sabi,
kasi alam ko, magsasawa naman ako eh.
Sa Ateneo. Ano gagawin mo sa Ateneo?
Gusto ko mag-travel.
Mag-travel from Bell to Bell
Bell to
to
big.
Naman,
Bell to big.
Sec.
bell to
travel.
bag, sec A, tapos
Oo.
arete.
Pero
Ganun. Iikot-ikot siya.
High school.
Mm.
Ganun lang.
ito
Ah,
sabi nga ni Angel bawal pa ulit-ulit.
okay. Ikaw, Sel. Ano? Alam ko, Sel, ikaw. Go to the library and study. Hindi. Hindi.
For sure. For sure, coach.
Go to
Okay.
go to Starbucks and study yan, coach. Starbucks.
Oh my gulay.
Siguro for me, just walk around campus without a
Yeah.
mask. Like that's enough. Like to be
Yeah.
able to go anywhere without a mask or a shield or like alcohol in hand. Like that's
Yeah.
enough for me.
Yung just walking and
Yeah, without
grabe,
feeling
no?
like praning or conscious or unsafe. Like honestly, beggars can't be choosers. I would just want to go out and
Wow.
feel safe, you know.
I've seen the growth of women's basketball. I would love to say, and this is my bet, okay? This is medyo mayabang na bet. I feel that as we start, Coach John Flores, Coach Kat Kimpo, and sina Coach Erica, they've really built a foundation that I'm trying to build on. We are trying to build on. But I really believe that as we continuously get back to our winning ways, I think, I think, in my humble opinion, I think we can, in our own way, by winning, I think we can propagate. We'll get to inspire more people. Kasi sa totoo lang, they really watch Ateneo. And in general, di ba? Parang feeling ko makakatulong tayo doon. Okay, last question. There are a lot of girls out there wanting to try basketball, maybe. They want to do it. They want to try. Do you have a piece of advice? Do you have and maybe some of them are also going through school right now. They haven't been able to properly train. Maybe a piece of advice that will help them achieve their goals. Siguro, LG, mauna ka na.
For me, coach, as much as naglo-look up to tayo sa different personalities, like may that be in sports or what leadership, whatever. Dapat maging mindful tayo kung sino nga ina-idolize natin. And aside from that, iba pa rin tayo dun sa ina-idolize natin. Like we have our own craft. Angel has her own. Ganun din kay Salina. So we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people. Kailangan lang everyday we make sure na i-compare natin sarili natin sa past self natin. Like, did I improve? Nagawa ko ba yung mga kailangan ko for today? And yun nga, never make excuses kasi lahat naman tayo may struggles in life. Like, you just have to find your own way para maging tolerable siya for you. And yun, in terms of basketball, coach, I think never siyang ma-discourage kasi yun nga, like kami, andito naman kami because we worked hard for it. So, kahit magkakaiba tayo ng opportunities and ng skill sets, hindi imposible na ma-develop mo rin siya as time.
Nice. Thank you so much, LJ. I will definitely vote for you once you decide to put your name in the balota. Definitely. Angel from Indiana. Anong oras na ba dyan? Hindi ko sasabihin. Parang inaantok ka na.
I think for me, I think LJ said pretty much everything, but I guess adding on to that is create your own image, and if someone tells you you can't do it, as long as you believe in yourself, anything's possible, And
Nice.
like we had a team meeting, I think a few days ago, and we had that survival mentality.
Friday.
Yeah. We had a lesson about survival mentality, and just it's not always gonna be easy, and you just have to have that motivation within yourself to push through all the challenges that you're gonna face. But at the end of the day, it'll pay off. It'll always
Nice.
pay off.
Yep, it will. Siguro, to wrap things up, our cap, Miss Selena De Dios.
Well, what LJ and Angel said, both very true, both very valuable. But to add na lang siguro, don't limit yourself. And whether that be on the court, in terms of what you're capable as an athlete. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm really a believer in being a holistic person. So don't even limit yourself to just being a student athlete. Of course, be realistic with, what you can balance, what you can manage. But I think what has set us apart, the three of us and also our teammates, is that we excel outside the world of sports. And because
tama.
we know naman that sports isn't forever, it's really about the character that you build. It's about who you are as a person and what you can contribute. So yeah, that's really for me. Don't limit yourself. Think bigger. Think outside the world of sports, and just try to develop and be the best version of yourself every day.
Wow, thank you so much. Really, really
Coach,
appreciate
thanks for the
that
script,
insight.
Thanks for the script.
Yeah. Sinulat ko ba yun? Was that the one I vibered you to say? To
Yeah.
end everything? Okay, no, I'm kidding. But anyway, girls, sobrang thankful. I was really thinking about this episode because medyo weird. I'm the host and I'm your coach, but really appreciate you girls sharing your heart. And it really is, as you said, Sel, no, it's more than basketball. And it's really a great opportunity for us, at least for you guys, to represent your families, your university, Ateneo, tapos women, and everybody, every athlete, no, boy or girl. Just talagang ang ganda what you guys are doing, and I can't wait to coach all of you. Sayang, no, we have new players coming in. We have, we're really trying to our best, diba, to stock up and get better as a team, and it starts now. We're not even diba, tuloy-tuloy pa rin kami online. So girls, thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks,
All
coach.
right. Again, my favorite team, okay, the women's basketball team. I'm sure marami tayong natutunan kay Sel, kay Angel, at kay LJ, and it's just exciting to see not only women's basketball grow here in the Philippines, but all the other sports na talagang mag-grow at supportahan ng Ateneo community. Just a lot of athletes were dedicated with their sport, dedicated sa kanilang mga pag-aaral, dedicated sa community. So, ang dami-daming mga athletes who are really doing that. So, anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed our episode. Please, if hindi nyo pa napapanood yung mga iba nating episodes, check out yung aming channel. We're in different social medias. We're in Facebook, we're in IG, we're in Twitter. So just click it and you will see the past episodes. And we have a couple of more exciting episodes that we are really looking forward to shoot. Talagang napakaganda. And we continuously want to update you with what is happening. Kahit may pandemya, the Ateneo Sports is alive and kicking. God bless you. One big fight.